Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Queermunity Virtual Info Night. You can ask questions in the chat. We are here to answer them all. We've got special guests. I'm going to turn it over to you, Christy.
All right. Well, let's introduce ourselves,
Sure.
shall we? My name is Christy Friday. I'm the Artistic Associate of Youth Programming, which means I deal a lot with the youth series and Young Company and school matinees, but I also get to work on Queermunity, which is awesome. Over to you, Olivia.
My name is Olivia Swearhone-Wick. I am Marketing Associate Graphic Designer at Persephone Theatre, and I'm happy to work on Queermunity every year.
Awesome. We're going to kick it off with just a few details about what Queermunity is, and then we'll move on to our special guests. What is Queermunity? Well, I'm just going to go to a page and just say Queermunity is very much what the name is. The Queermunity Theater Race, 48-hour Queermunity Theater Race. The object is to create a piece of theater in 48 hours, and it's a race to the finish, and it's to celebrate our queer community. It's all there in the title. And every team who applies creates a 10-minute theater piece in those 48 hours that they rehearse and then that they also perform at the end. So it's pretty awesome. And this is our 4th year doing it, which is really great too. What else can I tell you? We will also show you the webpage with the details, but each team, so every year we have about 4 to 5 teams who are part of Queermunity. So they have to apply to be a team. We have a panel of people who go through the applications and notify people once we've decided on the teams. And then there's a little bit of a wait. So our team application is on April 24th. And then you have a bit of time, a few weeks, several weeks to wait until our launch, which is our kickoff party, which starts the 48 hours. And during that time, each of the teams, we all get everybody together. You get to dress up, wear some fun team outfits, and then we reveal your inspiration packages. And those inspiration packages will include a prop, a line of text, and a sound cue. So our head of wardrobe, Ralph Blankenagel, has a room full of all the props from over the years. So a prop might be anything. I'm trying to think of some of the things that we've had over the years. What do you think?
Mannequin arm.
A mannequin arm.
Yep.
We had something that looked like a dinosaur bone almost.
Yeah.
A toy piano.
Yeah, toy piano.
So Ralph always comes up with some pretty fun props, and each team draws a number out of their hat, and so then you don't quite know what you're going to end up with because they're covered and you reveal them as it goes. And you also get a line of text, like I said. So that might be something like, "I didn't know you were here," or "When did I leave that?" I don't know. They're always kind of random bits of text, and you have to incorporate that into the show as well. And you also get a sound cue. What are the fun sound cues we've had? We've had like foghorn. Last year, did each team have a different sound cue? I forget. Yeah. So we mix it up each year. And then you get to try and figure out, okay, how do we make these make sense into a piece? And then it's fun for the audience because they get to know beforehand what you had in your inspiration package, and then they get to see how you came up with your play using those pieces. What else can I tell you? I've also got, so the launch is, I believe, going to be on the 5th of June. I'm just going to double check that. Yeah.
Yes.
And then you go off on your merry way to create your play. And we make available space during the daytime, and then we do have some evening hours as well with our production coordinator who will be here to hang out and make sure people can get in and out until a certain time. So there's like the classrooms can be used, or if a rehearsal hall is available, the backstage. We try and give a bit of a flow for those spaces because people are going to perform in the backstage. We try and make sure that each team gets some time in there to like get used to the size of the space. And we also have some awesome mentors that will help you. So in the past, they've been we've had a few great artists in the community who've come and given some advice. So these are people who've been a part of creating shows in the past, and they can give an outside eye to your piece. So you might give it to them in advance of what your first draft is, and then they'll come in with some notes and do some dramaturgical work with you, and just kind of help shape the show. And that just kind of has been very helpful for teams in the past. And they're also there to give some director eye to the piece as well. So once you get on your feet and start rehearsing the piece, they can kind of, give you some ideas for that as well. Yeah. Is there anything that I have not thought of so far, Olivia?
No, I can't think of anything.
So once you have created your piece, on the very last day, every team, it's kind of like Fringe Festival in a way, every team gets so much time in the backstage to incorporate some tech. So we provide, I don't know, there's usually about 8 lighting cues somewhere in there. So you know what kind of lighting cues you can have in the show. And you get some time with our technician and our production coordinator to set those cues and the levels and rehearse your show in the space. And we try to get in a dress rehearsal. Last year we were successful. It's a race, people. So it's always an adventure. But yeah, with each year it's gotten more and more smooth. And last year was very successful in getting everything in time, and I think folks felt really like they knew what was happening. Yeah. We try and block the in-between sequences so that we can move furniture. We usually provide several cube boxes or a bench. Windows, there might be a door, doors, that kind of thing. So you can make that part of your set. Olivia and I are the assistants, like assistants backstage who help move things and make sure we stay on task. So that when we get to the production, that all that goes smoothly and the teams just have to think about their shows. This year we'll have our performance on the Saturday evening. And so, yeah, all your friends and family can come and support you. We've always had a great crowd come out. And I think that's what I love the most is when the teams get to share their pieces with their friends and family and whoever, just the community coming out to support everybody and celebrate Pride Month. It's always a very joyous evening.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if we have anyone on here. If they have any questions, you're welcome to put that in the comments.
They're still thinking about it.
No problem. Just trying to think what I might have missed. We'll probably go over some of those details at least one more time, just so that it all makes sense. I think one of the challenges we've had in the last couple of years is just making sure, or as people don't realize that, yes, you're creating a piece, but then you actually perform it as well. Some people have kind of thought, oh, it's just, you write a script and then you have a script that you take elsewhere kind of thing. but there is an actual performance that happens where the teams put on their piece for the crowd. So it's a very rewarding experience, I think, for those involved, and I think everybody has a really good time. Any other challenges that we've had, Olivia, of like details that sometimes we miss or that people haven't quite?
Well, I think people should be aware that they're not coming into this with a prepared script, right? Like
Yes.
they're not pre-brainstorming. The whole idea is to come in with like just your brain ready to write something inspired by what you receive. So, you know, and rather than, oh, I've been working on this script for 2 years for a one act and I'm just going to make everything fit. I don't think it'll work in this context, you know?
Yeah,
Because
that's
the
part
whole
of the fun
idea,
is you're creating a brand
yeah,
new piece in that short amount of time.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
all it's a race. It's a see what we can come up with in 48 hours, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. What's your favorite part of the event, Christy?
Definitely the performance, you know, and just that support from friends and family, and
Yeah.
and how meaningful it is for the teams to be able to share their pieces at the end. And at the end, everybody's giving each other hugs, and it's just like it's a beautiful, beautiful community that has been created, which is
And
really
then
great.
and having the host a part of it and being able to
Yes, yes,
string
that's
everything
something I
together
haven't
and
mentioned. Do you mind
yes.
talking a little bit about that?
Sure. Every year we've had a host come in and help move things along in the evening. First year, we every year has been somebody different.
Yeah.
So we've had local and come from away, and I don't know if everybody caught last year's. We brought in Titus Androgynous from Toronto. It was a really good time.
Yeah. The first
We've
year we
had
had Katie Moore,
yeah,
and then we had Ricardo with his drag queen. Oh my gosh.
I'm drawing a blank too. I'm so sorry, Ricardo.
Puff.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Ricardo.
Puffy Von Poppenfresh. Am I getting?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah. And everybody's been amazing. That's been the MC. And this year, we can say this
Mm-hmm.
that we do know our MC for this year, and it is going to be. Take it away, Olivia.
Local famous character actor Crystal Harder.
Woo! Yeah, we're super excited to have Crystal on board.
Yay!
Yeah, she's going to be amazing. And Crystal does a lot of, as I'm sure everybody knows, does musical theater. She also writes her own music and songs, and has put on a cabaret play before. And so everybody's going to be in a real for a real treat. She'll give a couple of performances as well that evening.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we a portion of the ticket sales goes towards Pride Home, and so that's always been wonderful. It's a great opportunity for folks to come and support the people involved in the process, and support their brand new pieces that they've created, but then also to create an organization like Pride Home. Yes. I think we could probably move on to our first guest.
Yes, I think we're ready to talk about the history, the
Yes.
inspiration behind the event.
That's right.
I wish we could hear applause, but we can't.
So our first guest is going to be artistic director Heather Kent, and here she comes, Heather.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, Betty.
Awesome. Good to have you here. So Heather was it was your idea that came forth and created all of this. So would love to hear from you about that.
Sure. Yeah, we started doing Queermunity in my very first season here as artistic director. I started in September of 2021. And at that time, Persephone didn't really have a long history of doing queer work or having like a strong connection with the queer community here in Saskatoon, aside from the many queer people who work here on the regular. And I knew that I wanted to rectify that. But the programming for the season was set already when I started. The season was announced the very first day that I started, and I didn't choose those plays, and so I wanted to be able to do something as part of the season that could celebrate Pride and that could help the company build a relationship with the queer community and give queer artists an outlet to really perform queer work. And in ruminating about that, I was like, what could we do that would be fun? I knew I also wanted it to be an opportunity for the community at large to participate. And because Persephone is a professional theater, we work primarily with professional artists. It doesn't have a lot of opportunity for just anyone to come in and participate in the work that we create here. So Queermunity is intended to do that. You don't have to be an actor, you don't have to be a director or a designer or a playwright. You can be a plumber or a dentist or a lawyer or a barista. It really doesn't matter. You just have to actually want to be on the stage. You have to, have a thirst for the spotlight, I guess. So I had participated, let me correct that. I had been attending an event when I lived in Vancouver, which is many, many, many years ago now. I used to go to this event all the time that I loved, that I thought was a really great use of creativity and connection and engagement with like a broader community. And it was called Theater Under the Gun. And it was a 48-hour theater festival that was run by Monster Theater. And I loved it. The work was always like weird and out there, like definitely not stuff you would want to like sit through like 2 hours of, right? There are these 10-minute, 15-minute, sometimes 4-minute, little pieces that people had come up with during a 48-hour period. And I thought that would be a super fun way for us to celebrate Pride and to involve queer artists in work here and create, weird, cool work that is what it is on its own without it having to be something that is, 2 hours and main stage and, having a lot of bells and whistles, because that is a form of theater, right? What we do on the main stage is a form of theater, but it's not the only form of theater. And so Queermunity really opens up the door for us to do things to inspire people to create a different kind of storytelling, a different kind of work. And, in addition to that, it is a really fantastic opportunity for us to raise money to give back to the community here. So, as Christy said, each year we have raised money for Pride Home. The tickets at the door access is by donation, and all of those donations go to Pride Home. So it was really me trying to come up with something that could kind of do a number of different things. And this is what I landed on. And I called Ryan Gladstone of Monster Theater fame. And I said, hey, Ryan, I work at Persephone now, and I want to do this thing. And would you give me your blessing, essentially, to steal this format and apply it in this context, in a queer context? And he said, oh, yeah, I stole that from what I can't even remember who he stole it from, but he was like, it's not mine. I stole that from somebody else. I was like, perfect. This is great. No, so we had Ryan and the Monsters' blessing to do it. And it also falls under what what is it that Ken MacLeod says? Too short to suck. They are plays that you create in 48 hours that are they're too short to suck. You actually have nothing to lose by coming and participating in this event. You create something new and fun. We all have an experience together. No one has ever created a show that was terrible. It's always so much fun to watch them and to watch like imagination and creativity like really being born on the stage in front of you. It's so cool. It's like my favorite event that we do here every year. It's hard to believe that we're on year 4 already. Yeah, I mean that's the inspiration. That's where it comes from, and here we are, year 4. We've had so many different folks participate and create. Like some works are so funny, some are like devastating. They're just so emotionally devastating. It is really, and everything in between. You know, sometimes we have seasoned artists that have been at this for a really long time who are professionals, and sometimes they're people who've never made theater before. Students, you know, we've had a number of QSAs from high schools create teams that come and create together, which is so wonderful to see. You know, queer youth have an opportunity to like create work that is specifically on a platform for them. Yeah, I love everything about it.
It's very much in the spirit of pride. Like it's a good kickoff and like visibility and raising voices and
yeah, and I
joy.
really want it to be accessible to anyone, right? That you don't have to want to be a professional artist.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to want to be able to stand up in front of a crowd for 10 minutes and say, I'm here, I'm queer, I made this play for you.
Yeah.
Or I'm here, I'm not queer, but I love this queer person that I'm here with, and we made this play for you.
It's so much fun. Well, why don't we bring in a team that's been part of Queermunity since its inception and have a little chat with them. So everybody put your hands together for fan favorites. The Choke Cherries. Hey!
Hello!
Yay! Do you guys mind introducing yourselves and
Of course not.
Yeah.
I'm Nissan Gordon, they, them, and this is my lovely partner.
I'm Felix Friesen, he, him, and we're the Choke Cherries.
Yay!
We are so glad to have you guys here today. It has been, every time we get an application from the Choke Cherries, we're so happy. As Heather said, it's hard to believe that this is the 4th year of Queermunity. And you guys have been a part of every year since its inception, which is great.
Let me, yeah.
Exactly. And so I guess why don't we kick it off with why did you submit as a team?
Okay.
The first time.
Yes. I had been doing adult jobs for a while, and I've been a part of the arts for like decades, and I was like, I'm eager to get back in and do something, but everything feels so big to start. You know, an audition's a big deal, and you have to set time aside, and then you got to worry about not getting in. And I saw this poster, and it was for a 48-hour theater race, and I thought, well, there you go. There's something I could make, and even if it doesn't work out, that's fine. I made it in 2 days. There's no way anybody's going to be mad at me if something I made in 2 days doesn't work out. And I have been just hanging around with this lovely man for a while, and he writes songs. And I thought, you know what? If we're going for broke anyway to do like a fun but our best like off the cuff thing, let's try to make it a play with a song in it. And we're like, wow, that seems daunting. Let's do it. And it was so much fun. And the other groups are so good. And it was really wonderful because it's like all you have to do is create the thing. There's so much support that you have people who will help you with the dress rehearsal, and you have people to help with the blocking. And you are able to just focus on the art itself and just like making something. And it's really lovely.
Cool. Well, I have a picture here from the first time you did it with your
Oh,
prop.
goodness.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Do you
where's
remember?
the babies? Oh, the
Aw.
chicken.
Yeah.
We made so many good
Chicken, I
cocktails
forgot
that
about
year.
the chicken.
Yeah, I forgot about the chicken. Yeah.
So many good jokes.
Yeah, it was kind of low hanging fruit a little bit, but I liked it.
Mhm.
That was an easy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome. What
prop
props have you
reveal.
guys had over the years? More
We
photos.
had the rooster. We had
We had a giant fish last
Yes.
year. And what was the other one? A giant bone.
That's right.
It's been animal related every year for us
Oh
for
yeah, it
some
was
reason.
like a some sort of marine animal bone.
And every
wasn't
time it's been
Yeah.
like animal and very obvious joke related.
Yeah.
it? Oh, your vibes go towards that on the table.
Look, we find what we find.
Yeah. That's like shows the prop shrouded in secrecy
Yeah.
there on the tables. Yeah.
Awesome. Our next question for you would be, what makes you keep coming back?
It's just it's a wonderful way to just touch so much of the art that we love, like writing and performing and just being embraced in the community, and in such just a raw, unfiltered way. Like there's no time to filter it. That's not even possible. There's no editing process really. There's just we feel a thing and we write that thing and we perform that thing, and it's just such it captures theater in such a condensed way, and it just feels so magical every time. It's just something we look forward to so much.
Yeah. That's a very good way to put it.
It even led to you working at Persephone Theater, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yes. I did Queermunity the first year and it was so lovely, and I was just enraptured by the magic of the place that the next day I was like, I have to work here. I want to come back here every day so that I can take more of this lovely energy into myself.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's so nice to hear. One more question that I have for you, and maybe
Please.
Heather and Olivia might have some too. Oh my God, I love that photo.
I'm trying to see everybody. Oh my God, it's so cute.
So cute.
What would you say to someone or a group who's thinking of doing this, of putting together an application?
I've been thinking a lot about this. One, do it. There's no downside to doing it. You'll have a fun time. It is a good experience with the community that you are assumedly already a part of or want to be a part of. It is a good way to have fun with your friends if you want to do it with your friends, and it's a good way to like shake the rust off. Like if you have done these things before in any capacity and you want to see where you're at with it, this is the perfect opportunity. And it's so rewarding to have such a low stakes thing, because as Heather so rightly put it, it can't suck. Anything you write in 2 days, no matter, it could be so bad and it will be funny because it's so bad, and that's what you put together over 2 days. And it's just like we've had teams explode and then reform in the 2 days, and then have one person have to rewrite it, and it still came out so funny. And the fact that there was all of this hullabaloo behind it makes it even funnier, because then it's like running around with your head cut off. And it's that kind of like frenetic energy that I find is really characteristic of the arts in general. And so it is so rejuvenating and lovely. And if you're thinking of doing it, do it and have fun, and come to watch them, even if you don't think about doing it, because you might want to do it next year. And this community is one that's not going anywhere, and it's one where, as many smarter people have put it, we get to support the community, we get to connect with the queer community in a very loud way. One of the things for myself is that depending on where I'm going about in my life, I don't always present super queer. On purpose or not, but I get to come here and be as loud as I want to with that stuff, and it's such a relief to have to be able to just be that.
So joyful that you just can't be mad at like the people on stage, you know, like I'm, you know, from a just being there. Like I don't know how anybody could come in there and hate anything, right? Like you know,
Well, and it's
everybody's
really
just
nice because we're all running at the same level of
Yeah.
frenetic. So like we're all supporting each other and we're all kind of crazy. And even
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, that's just like it's part of it, right?
Yeah.
And so it's all fun. There's
Yeah.
even the worst possible parts are so much fun.
The audience is certainly there to love and support everyone. I don't. It's hard for me to remember sitting in an audience that has felt like it radiates so much care for the artists on stage. And that's a really special thing, I think, to experience as an artist and also as a queer person, is to stand in front of an audience, to allow yourself to be seen, and just to feel that love and acceptance radiating from the audience for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, anybody watching, feel free to ask questions in the comments to anybody. Anything specifically? But yeah.
Did you have any questions for the choke cherries, Heather?
Yeah.
Questions for the choke cherries? No, I didn't think of any questions in advance.
I was going to ask if you guys had a favorite moment.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I'll pop this up on the screen for inspiration.
I mean, Modern Ally Quizzical was pretty spectacular last year.
That was really fun.
It was really good.
We've made it a habit of trying to, because this is such an experimental space, we've made it a habit to try to push ourselves further and further. And that started to get more extreme to the point where we did Modern Ally Quizzical to the theme of Modern Major General. And it was, because I'm not the singer. You understand, I'm not the singer. And we did this, and I was like, okay, if we're gonna do this, I gotta sing at least once. And so we got to just like blow out our voices doing this, and it was so much fun.
That was really cool. Last year, you guys swapped roles.
Yeah.
That's one of the nice things about having a 2-person act. And we also spend basically all of our time together. So we got to go over the script in really intimate detail, and we wrote a lot of it together. Yeah. So we decided to push the envelope even further than we usually do, because why not? And we did the roles one way one day and then swapped them the next day. Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun because I'd never written a character who had no lines before. It was all physical comedy. And it was such an interesting thing. And it's so fun to be able to do things you haven't done before. Like, again, this is an experimental space. Do things you haven't done. Well, now you tried something that difficult. Do something else that was on your list.
Yeah, you made it special both nights.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is if people are watching and all of this hasn't made you feel inspired to apply, to gather a group of friends together and apply as a team, do come and watch. Do come and watch. It is a fantastic good time. And if you thought maybe, and then you came to this Q&A and you're like, actually, no, y'all have freaked me out a little bit. I'm too nervous now. I don't want to do that. That's okay. It doesn't mean you can't come watch. You get to support a great local queer cause in Pride Home. You get to support queer artists and their allies in making some really fantastic, fun work and stretching their artistic skills and their creativity, and then just be here to witness it all.
We got a fan in the comments.
One thing I would love to say is I've always been impressed by the student groups. I have had so much joy watching them do this, because this kind of opportunity wasn't available when I was a student, and I would have loved to be able to just go out there and cut loose. And we've had some really epic student teams write some really deep stuff.
Yeah.
And it has been like touching to see such capacity for understanding out of teenagers who usually, you know, people don't give too much credit to for that.
Yeah. And really
The number of times
funny.
I've been open-mouthed weeping in the audience
Mhm.
because of one of the shows that
Yeah.
that one
Last
of
year
the
in specific.
groups created. Yeah.
Yes. And just like
I think it's important to mention, sorry, Olivia.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
started talking right at the same time as you, that there is an honorarium.
Mhm.
So this is a theater race. We did have, I think in our first year, one of the teams was like, so who won? And we were like, you all did.
Pride wins.
Everybody
wins.
Pride
Yeah.
wins.
Love wins.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, but each team does get an honorarium, so there is something for your time and your effort, and each team can do what they want with it. Whether each team takes, you know,
Mhm.
they break up the money evenly, or they go out for a huge pizza party, or you know, it's totally up to you. Or if it helps to make up for if you took a day off work or that type
Yeah.
of thing. We try to honor the work that you've put
Or
forth.
buy entirely too many props.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a participation trophy, but also you get money, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Well,
And
no, I'm pretty sure it's only $400.
sometimes a t-shirt.
It's not sky's the limit. The budget doesn't stretch that far.
Your imagination has no limits.
Imagination.
Well, I mean, having said that, like, there's nothing that spurs creativity more than parameters, for
Yes.
me anyway. Right? You got
Construction
$400.
needs creativity.
You got this line, you got this prop, you've got this sound effect, and you've got $400. So
Well, and it's really cool to like get those cues and just like you'll get the line and you'll be like, wait a second, I know. And then it starts just like forming in your brain.
Yeah.
And just that process is so cool.
do you remember what your line was last year?
No, I don't.
No, I don't remember either. And I guess that's a good thing.
I think that
No, I
means we
don't think
worked it in
so.
smoothly.
Yeah.
I did want to add that part of the reason that we can give an honorarium and also take the ticket donations and all that and give it to Pride Home is because we do have support from the city of Saskatoon and through the Sask Lotteries grant through the Sask Community Foundation. So we greatly appreciate that. It makes a huge difference, and Saskatoon Pride has always been involved as well, giving us somebody on the panel to help us choose teams and stuff, and just support it along the way. So a big thank you and shout out to them. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring up the application.
Yes. I guess we should allow these lovely folks to carry on with their weekend. If you guys do want to, if you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. But also, we know that you might have other things to get to.
Yeah.
So a big thank you to Heather and Felix and Nissan. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We greatly appreciate it.
See y'all at
Thanks so much for having us.
And see ya. And we're back.
Awesome. And we're back. So, yeah, Olivia, if you don't mind bringing up the website and just kind of talking us through a few things, that would be great.
Sure. Continue. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk amongst ourselves. No, I think, yeah, it's so great to have the Choke Cherries as a part of this info night because they've created beautiful pieces each year that are heartwarming, endearing, humorous, and they've, you know, each time walked away with like having. I think what's beautiful is everybody's walking away with having accomplished something in a very short amount of time.
Yes.
And also some of the teams have like a sleepover, and they barely get any sleep. They stay up all night working on the piece. So in some ways, it's kind of like a party almost for those involved.
Yeah, for sure. So just a reiteration of the series of events that happen before Queermunity even starts, right? So our application deadline is April 24th. So you have a couple more weeks to get all of your things together. And if you visit the link that I've been flashing on the screen all night, persephonetheater.org/fourth Queermunity, you can find all this information there. So we'll choose the teams by May 8th at the earliest, usually, and the whole event takes place June 5th to 7th. So the selected teams will come on the 5th. You'll get your inspiration package, and then you're off to the races. And also, the $400 honorarium doesn't hurt either. We also give away free t-shirts, so you can have a little souvenir of your participation in the event. So, teams, you have to attend all of the events as part of Queermunity, like the inspiration reveal, your tech dress, your tech rehearsals, everything like that. And you have to attend the shows. I mean, what's the point otherwise? Yeah. And the tech rehearsal is usually pretty fun. You get to meet everybody else and hear about what they've been up to as well.
And see what they created in such a short amount of time as well.
Yes.
The teams always have a great bonding moment too.
Yeah, it's true. And then sometimes we get in a rehearsal.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been pretty lucky though. Yeah, that's just part of the fun. We never know. So all teams have to support the community. Like we need you to agree to all the anti-discrimination policies prior to receiving your inspiration package. So on this page, you'll find the application with everything you need laid out to fill in. You can't submit it until everything's filled out. Just some quick questions. And the policy that we need you to read is available here as well at this link. Easy peasy. Christy, do you have anything to add?
I would just say it's a very quick application. We always enjoy reading what people have put together. We often get some good laughs in. People are very creative with their application as well, and choosing their names. We will feature each team as we lead up to the actual launch and kick off the race. So it's just an opportunity for us to put it out on social media and say, hey, welcome to this team who's going to be a part of Queermunity. Each one gets featured. And it's just, it's a really great 2 days of creativity. The other thing that I would just love to add is that while we can't give details, this year for Queermunity, we're actually expanding it into a festival. So we have a couple other events that are going to happen, one specifically. And I believe, are we able to do the teaser?
Yeah, let's do the teaser. We're going to do a
So
play reading.
Teaser, and then we will reveal more details at another time. Ooh,
what could it be?
Olivia Swearhound-Wick did an awesome job putting together this imagery. So there will be a play reading on May 31st. So we welcome you all, invite you all to come join us for that. And then we will also have the theater race as well. And again, a big thank you to City of Saskatoon and Saskatoon Community Foundation, Sask Lotteries grant for help making that happen.
for sure.
Yeah.
We'll take guesses in the comments as to
if anyone has a guess as to what that is, that's great. Yeah, anything else to add or any questions from folks or comments? Please feel free to leave those. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Finn.
Awesome. I'm gonna check in with other socials.
Great. Just trying to think what I could go over if there's any details that I might have been a bit fuzzy on at the beginning. So yeah, it's just review. Once you've received that your team has been selected, then we will have the launch on June 5th. And then on June 5th, you receive your inspiration packages. Up until that point, you have not created a script at all. You have to wait until the launch when you receive your inspiration packages, which is a prop, a line of text, and a sound effect. And then you are off to the races, creating your piece. So then you have those 48 hours, which also include your tech rehearsal. So you will have an opportunity with 6 lighting cues in the backstage, 6 to 8 lighting cues that you can select and let our technician know how you want your scenes to go. Lights up, lights down. You can choose moody. It could be on a beach, anything like that. We'll have a few different choices for you. And I think we also usually allow a couple sound cues as well, besides the sound effect. And then you will get to run through that piece. And then in the evening, you will perform that piece for your friends and family and celebrate Pride that way. And get an honorarium at the end.
You're getting paid to have fun.
That's right. Oh, so it's a necrotic, is that how you say that? Necrotic genome? A great way to kick off Pride.
Yeah.
It is. It is a really great way to kick off Pride. It's super fun. Like I say, we've had, like we mentioned, high school students all the way to, people who've been involved in theater and, just want to try it for fun. It's just great. Lots of fun.
Yep, I look forward to it every year.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
So if after this anyone has any questions for us, please feel free to reach out. I think there's one of our emails on there on the application page. I can't quite remember, but if not, you can always look on the website. Both of our info is on there under the staff page. Happy to answer any questions folks might have. And you can always call us too at work. But highly encourage you to apply, put in a team. It's a great way to have some fun with your friends. And if for some reason it just doesn't work for you this year to spend those 48 hours, but you are available to come to the show, we would love you to come to the performances that evening and to the play reading the weekend before.
Yes, join us.
Yeah, we would love that. Well,
also, if you need to reach out to anybody, just ask a comment in the comments of socials, Facebook, Instagram. We'll be able to answer the questions there as well.
That's right.
So one more time, I'm going to flash that website up on the screen. It's also available on Instagram and Facebook to click on as well. Yeah, well, this has been super fun. Thanks, Christy.
Thank you, Olivia. Yeah. We hope that we'll tomorrow morning start work and the inbox will be just flooded with applications for Queermunity.
Yep, that's going to happen.
Yeah, and people will have bought tickets and all that. Yeah. Thank you all for taking the time to listen, check in, and celebrate with us. And thank you again to Heather and Felix and Nisan for joining us. And thank you to you, Olivia.
Thank you, Christy.
We'll see you all in a couple months.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I'm going to leave you with the information one more time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.